Hey everybody, it's Karen coming at you again. It's Tuesday evening, and I want to talk to you about change in mindset and how we go about our lives. So, one of the things that I've been hearing a lot of, and I've kind of been struggling with myself, is the issue of confidence. And not like in a I don't know who I am kind of confidence, but a I'm not feeling all that confident in my work and what I'm doing and whether or not it's helping people. And I talked about this last week in terms of feeling like I lost my mojo. And so yesterday I was having a conversation with my coach about kind of what I had been going through over the last 2 weeks and where I felt like I was stuck. And I was telling her again, there's something within me that just doesn't feel like I deserve to be successful in, making however much money I want to make, or, having a nice car or a nice house, because currently we rent, and my husband and I want to buy land and build a cute little kind of cabin type thing there. And a lot of people are motivated by those kind of things, and I'm just not. And it's partly because of the voices in my head saying, bossy mind, reminding me that, oh well, maybe you're not good enough, and who do you think you are? And those things that just they get old, but they're there and they don't go away. And they come back at times where you don't expect it. Like with this, in terms of how I want to have my coaching business and what I want it to look like, there's this, chatter in the back of my head going, you don't deserve that. What makes you think that, you're the one to bring that into the world? Again, who do you think you are? And so my coach and I were having a conversation about how I can help to stop that voice short, or cut that voice short, in terms of how quickly it gets rolling. And one of the things that we talked about was creating little victories. And there's lots of different people that talk about developing a morning routine, partly because it's habit. Like, so you start off with, oh, these are the things that I've already done today. But even bring that more forward to a little victory. It's like, oh, look at the 5 things that I've done today already that have been successful. I made my bed. I had my morning supplements. I had my tea and did my meditation. Whatever it is that you have in your morning routine, we can think about those things as little victories. And my coach and I were talking about how I can incorporate that more into my routine, being aware and intentional about how I do my morning routine and setting myself up for success. And the great thing about coaching is that it seems like lessons kind of cycle through. So I was with a client this morning, and we ended up talking about reframing. So a lot of salespeople and very goal-oriented people think about the outcome as success and failure. I do this very much so. And my client was telling me about how she procrastinates and just doesn't want to make the phone calls that she knows need to be made, and she knows would bring her so much less stress if she did them. And so we talked about how we could reframe that for her in terms of, well, maybe it's making the phone call is actually the win, and the outcome you can't control, and so is just what it is, and let it be there. But look at the activity, the phone calls, whatever it is that you need to do, and look at that as a win. And it's been interesting as I've kind of chewed with this for the last couple weeks, in terms of, how I want my business to be, what I want it to look like, where are my victories, and those kind of things, that it just takes a slight shift. It's like turning the volume dial from 9 to 10, and that sometimes that's all we need. Just shifting just ever so slightly. So instead of looking at the outcome, look at the activity. Instead of looking at the morning routine just as something that I do, like, oh, these are wins. I made my bed this morning. Huzzah me. Count the little victories. And so instead of seeing life or activity as just something that we do, we can see it as little victories. And there have been, study after study after study looking at gratitude and the significant impact that it has on our emotional and mental well-being. And so looking at these little victories and seeing our activity, whether it's the phone calls made, the reaches, the appointments set, getting a project done, getting a certain pipe fitting ordered, whatever it is, whatever your job happens to be as a leader, looking at those little victories and celebrating them and kind of putting them on the gratitude list can really, really change our perspective and allow us to get over a procrastination hump that we maybe wouldn't have gotten over. And so I leave you with that this evening, is your homework to shift your mindset from looking at your daily activity to as something that is something you have to do, and look at it as little victories. So taking out the trash, victory. Getting the mail, victory. Making the bed, victory. Making 7 phone calls, victory. All these things. See how it changes your mindset and changes your outlook on life. And go get them. Have a great night.